All right, we're here. This is a Brown Steelers preview. Uh, Frank is a sad sack who likes the Steelers. Probably the biggest Steelers fan I know, and it's beat Pittsburgh week basically. So, how confident are you this week, Frank?
Um, Pretty confident. I mean, last week gave me a little scare, but it's still the Browns, coming into Pittsburgh.
Has every week basically given you a scare?
Yeah, I mean, but that's just typical because we like to play down to our opponent and we play up to our opponent. So
You'll have to. I think this is honestly the first opponent on your schedule that you guys actually have to play up to, because it's surprising. And we're the Browns. We suck. Like I know that, but this Browns team actually feels different for a change.
oh yeah, I agree. I mean, watching the end of the Colts game, the Colts Browns game, I was actually surprised you guys pulled one out. Usually those are the games you find a way to lose. And I mean, I 4-1. I don't remember the last time the Browns were 4-1. I don't think I was alive the last
Yeah,
time the Browns were 4-1.
Bill Belichick was a coordinator of our defense. It was 1994 last time we were 4-1. I mean, like it's absurd right now. So I think like at first like those first like two wins of like the football team and the Bengals.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
I was like not confident. I wasn't buying in. But after that Cowboys game, I was like, all right, I'm in. Like I'm ready to get hurt by the Browns again. Like they're doing it.
I mean, just speaking on that, speaking of like the Redskins and Bengals
Football
and how
team.
you brought,
Hey, we're not
oh,
racist here.
Washington football team. My bad, I'm not a racist, but the Indians better change their name soon. Then
Hey, knock it off. Come on, let's
Don't
not go
worry.
too far.
Soon the Pirates will be too, but they just need a whole new rebrand anyway. But that's a whole nother subject. Uh, But speaking of the Washington football team and Bengals and how you mentioned we haven't played the best competition in the world. It's still the NFL and it's still hard to win
Yeah.
football games in the NFL. I mean, you look at the Texans, that team was up 24-3 last year and to go to the AFC Championship game. They come back, I think they started 0-4, right? 0-3, 0-4, fired Bill O'Brien. I mean, they're a good team. The Bengals, they're young. I mean, it's the NFL. It's not college. These guys are professionals, and it's hard to win in the NFL. That's why games are close.
I think now, like this feels like the first time that, like, at least in my life, that the Browns like Steeler rivalry. It's always been a rivalry, but now it actually feels important. Because I know you
I
always said the
100%
Steelers are
agree.
your biggest rival, but doesn't this year feel like the Browns are your biggest rival?
No, it's funny you brought that up because that was literally my next talking point was about the rivalry. Uh, I mean, for us, obviously Cleveland's just always hated Pittsburgh for
Mm-hmm.
multiple reasons. I mean, I went to school with you. I mean,
It was a
there were
jealousy
still
thing, honestly.
there were Steeler fans, but I mean, more Browns fans. But I would say our rival the last 15 years has obviously been the Ravens. I mean, it's always the Ravens, the Patriots, teams like that, because
We
I mean,
suck.
come down to yeah, I mean, you guys sucked, but coming down to the end of the season, it's always those teams that we seem to run into and have the biggest, like, I mean, a rivalry kind of respect aspect to it. I mean, the Browns and Steelers are a rivalry, but like, I never realized the last time there was actual some respect to it. And I think last year was the first time after you beat us where going into the game at home at Pittsburgh, where I felt like, wow, this is actually a huge game. Like it feels like a rivalry again, and especially this week. I mean, we're 4-0, you're 4-1. I feel like it's back. I feel like it's back more for Cleveland right now, and I think that Pittsburgh needs to wake up to being back. Like the
Mhm.
Browns aren't the same old Browns, as much as I hate saying that and want to say they're the same old Browns. I don't think they are. I mean, I think they got a good coach, but I think definitely the Pittsburgh should hate Cleveland as much as Cleveland hates Pittsburgh, and I don't think it's like that right now. I think for older people it is, but I think people our age, Steeler fans, like they're like, just Browns. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because like for me growing up, it's like we lost. It was almost a guarantee. You're losing two times to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like I think we've only beat them probably like 10. Saying we beat you guys probably 10 times in my life is an overstatement. It's probably closer to 5.
I'm pretty sure the two times you actually did beat us was because I remember them both because I was freaking there. It was they were both at Cleveland. Charlie Batch started the one. You beat us. I think we turned the ball over 7 times, and you guys beat us at Cleveland again. And Ben did play, and you guys won 31-10. So you guys kind of killed us. It was earlier in the season, kind of like this, but you murdered us.
Yeah. But like honestly, going into this game, like both teams, like it doesn't feel like they like stumbled out of the gate. Like it feels like they're both ready for this game. Like I know this Browns team is actually coached well for a change. Like last week, we didn't blow a big lead and we only had 2 penalties. I don't remember the last time a Browns game, like it's like all year we haven't had like more than like 3-4 penalties in a game. We're not shooting ourselves in the foot for a change. Baker's
Definitely.
keeping like a lot of possessions for us, which thank God, because I was very sketchy about him this year. But last week was the first time, even this year, that I was like he looked confident back there. He had 2 interceptions, but one was bad. One was really bad, and the other one was just he got hit as he was throwing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one he got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to speak on the Browns, just from, I mean, week 1. I mean, I'll do Browns and Steelers, my opinion, but week 1, Ravens. I mean, still the Ravens. Do I think they're whatever that many points better than you guys? No. And I think they're overrated, but that's my hate towards them too.
I've been saying all year I've been saying they're frauds. They are frauds. They can't win a big game.
They can't. And if you watch that Monday night game against the Chiefs, I think it was Monday night, the Chiefs just played with them. Like the Chiefs should have won that game by 30, but they messed around and they let him back in. And like people were like, oh, it was a game. I think it was a touchdown game at one point.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have been a touchdown game at all. Like they
never felt close.
Yeah, and like I think you tweeted it. Playoff Lamar showed up.
Yeah, no, like, he looks jittery back there in these.
Oh yeah,
games. Like he's looking to run, not throw.
He can't. You have to figure him out. Like you got to figure these guys out. And like why do the Chargers have success against Mahomes and stuff? If you get pressure to these guys, like it doesn't matter who you are. If you get pressure to the quarterback, you have a chance to win. And it's still all about defense. And I'll bring that up later. But speaking on the Browns, you come back, beat the Bengals Thursday night. It was shady, but the offense looked good. They put up 38. Come back, put a whooping on the Cowboys. Defense choked a little bit, but hey, like I said, Browns usually find a way to lose those games. They won, and then you come back, beat the Washington football team, and you beat a good Colts team whose defense is supposed to be the best in the league. And I mean, I think that I don't think your defense is that good.
No, it's horrible.
But the fact that the offense has scored 30 points 3 games now, I think it is now.
That's 4.
Is that right?
Now.
4?
Well, or no, wait, did we score 30 against the Colts? Yeah, 32. Well, the offense didn't score 30 against the Colts. We had a pick 6.
Yeah. Okay, as a team, you put 30 up.
But
I would say your offense is rolling. I mean, you're finally using your weapons. I mean, come on. That's
Stefanski.
Yeah, that's definitely. And for us, on the other hand, I personally don't think we're not playing our best football right now. And we're 4-0, which is amazing because you look back at it. I mean, last year, no Ben, but 1-4. The year before that, 1-2-1. I think that was the year we tied. I mean, the Steelers historically never start good.
Yeah.
Never. And they're 4-0, which gives me hope because I know they're just going to get better as the season goes on because Mike Tomlin's teams usually do. And it's the 30-point thing. They scored 38 Sunday, and that's the first time they scored 38 since December 2018, which is eye-opening. Yeah. So the only my concern with them is the defense. I mean, the defense still making splash plays, but at secondary, I don't like our secondary right now.
Do you still trust like Minka and Hayden to lock up like big name guys?
I think the reason, I mean, I get a lot of arguments with Browns fans, especially about the Joe Hayden thing, is I think Joe Hayden's a great corner, and I think the new scenery helped him. I don't think he's like a Marshawn Lattimore, people like someone like that at all, but I think he's great, and I think having Minka there helps a lot. And I don't think it's him this year. I'm worried about the other one who had a great year last year, Stevie Nelson, who was amazing last year. He's been getting torched this year.
He makes big plays, but he gives up the big play too.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday, that practice squad player had 150 yards on his head, and he had 2 interceptions. And people were like, "Oh, he had a good day." I'm like, "No, he didn't. He got torched all day long." And I was like, and the thing that pissed me off the most is 4th and 20. Of course, you got to pick on that, but all you had to do was knock the ball down. We had the ball at the 20-yard line. Like, I mean, people need to use common sense sometimes. But and then, yeah, the Minka thing. I've been talking to like Steeler fans about that, and it's like they're not throwing to him. So like, what do you expect? But I think tackling like he's trying to like lay people out with the shoulder, and if a lot of NFL teams are doing that, I mean, but they're just not tackling well. And I think like why offense is having so much success this year is because not tackling. And I think another big reason is there's really no home field advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's really not. And I think that plays a huge role, especially for defenses. I mean, you get false starts, all that kinds of mental mistakes away. I mean, for the Browns coming into Pittsburgh, it's going to be a lot easier for with 5,500 fans and 67,000 fans. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
that's definitely big. It's definitely better for the Browns than like Pittsburgh. Ben is tested in those big games, at least. Like him coming to Cleveland. Cleveland does make a very loud stadium, especially when we're decent. Like even when we're bad, it's pretty loud.
Yeah, but I agree.
The Steelers are notoriously great fans. So you go there, you see all the towels, people are screaming, like they love that football team. It's gonna mess with you a little. Like NFL players always say, "Oh, it doesn't do anything." I think that's garbage.
No, it's definitely garbage. And like you said, I mean, Cleveland's no matter how bad they've sucked. I mean, it's still a hard place to win in. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, compared to, I'd rather go to freaking San Diego than Cleveland, or like
that's
LA than Cleveland. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's my point, though. Like, I mean, Steeler fans can travel well, obviously, and they'll go to Cleveland, but it's still hard. It's a hostile environment, rivalry game. It's hard to win in Cleveland. They have good fans. They're loud. Dog pound's loud down there.
Yeah, I think what I'm most worried about for this game, the emergence of Chase Claypool is scary, but it's our safeties. We have no one to cover. You've seen me tweet probably this Andrew Sandejo guy.
Oh yeah,
who is this idiot? He's the worst safety in football. He like they'll show the replay and he's just sitting in the middle of the field, and then there's 2 guys just sprinting down the field, and like they'll show like just like the player like icons, and it's just him like chasing down 2 players. Like, well, what are you doing out here? And like against the Cowboys, he had like a big he stripped Zeke. Like, he gave up 4 touchdowns though. He's worse than Steve. Like, you might dislike Stevie Nelson. He makes Stevie Nelson look like Jalen Ramsey out there. He's so bad.
And Greedy's out, right?
He's on the IR. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's been a little baby all year.
Did he play?
No, he hasn't played this year. He had a minor shoulder injury, and now it's like a nerve problem, and who knows when he's coming back. Delpit has his Achilles. He's been out all year.
Yeah,
and Carl Joseph. If Carl Joseph's back, we're fine in the secondary, because then we could play Harrison and him, and hopefully Sendejo's on the bench, and we put like Redwine in, who's playing amazing all year. He's got like 2 picks, or not 2 picks. He forced a pick and then an interception. We won't play that dude. We'll continue to play Andrew Sendejo, who he just makes it kill. Like he'll try to jump a route, like the one against the Cowboys. He jumped the route and he just didn't put his hands up, and he like threw his head at it, and the ball went right over his head. And I'm just looking like, we're going to lose to the Cowboys because Sendejo is the most clueless human on the face of planet Earth.
Yeah.
I trust the offense, even without Chubb. The defense, I am wildly concerned about. We can get pressure on you guys. Coverage is a problem.
Well, just speaking offensively, I saw a tweet before I got on, actually. It was like the Steelers have had, and it went through the weeks, their leading receiver and leading rusher. And it was like, it was really balanced, honestly. It was Benny Snell, Connor again. And last week was Ray McLeod, who is not supposed to frickin' make the team, and he's the leading rusher. And it's the same with receivers. Obviously, last week it was Claypool. Then you got Juju, Deontay Johnson. And we haven't heard him yet, but I think he's next. It's going to be James Washington. He's going to go off eventually. So the emergence of Claypool, you're right. I mean, it's like I'm not personally. I like him. I think he's gonna be great. I'm not sold off of like. I mean, I'm not bought into the hype yet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like a
No,
lot of people
totally.
are like, "Oh, 4 touchdowns." Yeah, okay. Well, two. I think two of his touchdowns came on the 1 yard line, but they were sweep. Like I mean, they could have ran the same play to Juju. You know what I mean? So I think he's going to be a beast. I'm not sold on him yet, but the one thing that pisses me off is the play calling. I don't understand why they just won't let him sling it.
Hmm.
Like, just let him sling it. He's at his best when he's calling the plays. We're at our best when he's calling the plays. Why do you think we always score with 2 minutes left? Always. It's because he's calling the damn plays. We're not doing these halfback tosses to lose
Yeah.
6 yards. Like I can't stand those. And James Conner needs to learn how to run downhill again, like he did at
Yeah.
Pitt. I mean, he's not an elusive like he's
He's
not an
slow.
elusive back. He's slow. He needs to stop juking and spinning and just run some people over. And I the run game scares me. I think if we sit back and try to run the ball against you guys, we're gonna get pounded. I think this is the game where we need to say, all right, let seven loose, let him sling it. If he
Hmm.
throws 2 interceptions and 3 touchdowns and we win, I really don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let him sling it. I mean, he's got. Baker has 9 touchdowns, 4 picks. It's not horrible.
Yeah, it's not horrible, but I want for our offense, I want to do the exact opposite of what you just said. I want to run it 30 to 40 times.
Yeah,
I
you
want,
do.
oh yeah, Kareem Hunt, Dearness Johnson, even like a Dontrell Hilliard a little bit. I want more Dearness Johnson touches now. I want him to have 15 to 20 carries, and Kareem Hunt better have 20 carries because we're not beating you throwing the ball. Like Baker, he's better when he's confident, but when we're just destroying teams, picking up 5 yards a carry, we have the best like run uh, blocking O line in the NFL. So let's use it. I know
Oh
you guys
yeah,
have an amazing run defense.
that was
Scares
my
me,
next point.
but we were able to run against the Colts. They were without Darius Leonard, which does hurt them a lot, but that's the number one run defense in the NFL that we were able to
Yeah,
just move pretty well. That's without Chubb again. Like that's why I would be a lot more confident in this game if we had Nick Chubb.
yeah. I mean, like you said, I mean, I don't know if I agree with that game plan. I mean, obviously, it definitely makes sense for you guys, like best run blocking in the NFL. Probably yards per game is probably the best. But that front seven's nasty, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I I they gave up that long run uh, this last week, but I think if you guys are gonna win, I think you have to throw the ball, and I think that's where you hurt us. Honestly, I mean, you got Jarvis and Odell on the sides, and Njoku, Hopper, Hooper, whatever his name is. It's two great. I think we both have two good tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think obviously I would take your receivers over ours, but I love our receivers. Take your running backs, nice. It's even the backups you have. I mean, it's starting to remind. You look like us a little bit on offense. A little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. You don't got a Hall of Fame quarterback yet, but
I wouldn't. We might. It's early.
nah, I'll never say that. You'll never get me to say that ever.
Well, I
But
won't say the same thing about Ben. He's not Hall of Fame.
yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of Ben, I just want to congratulate you on finally seeing someone tie the record in your
Yes.
own stadium. That's your quarterback. Congratulations. It's really a fascinating
Yeah.
and huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about this earlier. Like, is it more sad that we just finally had a QB do that, or is it like more impressive that Ben was able to just consistently beat? I know the Browns have been horrendous, but Joe Flacco doesn't have it. There's no Bengals like Dalton doesn't have it. Like,
I think you're actually thinking when I first thought about it, I was like, oh, it's definitely more sad. But thinking about it, that's kind of impressive. Thinking
yeah,
he plays there once a year.
yeah. It's
You
just
know what I
time and
mean?
time again that it was just consistent. It was a win. He was coming to Cleveland and he was getting a win.
I mean, he is. Well, I think he is 24-2-1. I mean, overall, which is absolutely, or maybe it's 24-3. I don't know, but I know it's something insane like that. And the one, of course, the one, which I still get pissed about that. I mean, that's just. I think you should be pissed about that too because I
We
don't think
should
there
have
should be.
won.
Oh yeah, you should have won. We should have won too. We had a field goal for the win.
Yeah.
But the reason why I said you should be pissed about that too is because I don't think there should be ties in the NFL. I really don't. I mean, you play.
I like college football overtime so much more.
I do too, and I like what Pat McAfee said. Send the kickers out there. Do a kick out, like a shootout.
No, I don't want to do that. I'd rather win in overtime.
Why? You got Parkey, some dumb doinks.
Every extra point, like I was never confident when our kicker goes out there since Phil Dawson at least.
Yeah.
When he goes out there, every time I literally I'm like, that's a miss. He's gonna miss this.
Well, I don't think that's just you because I can't watch kicks either. I mean, I just can't watch it. Like when that dude kicked that 58 yarder, Jesus. I was like looking at the scoreboard like, please go right, please go right, please go right. And it just went right. And I was like, jeez. I mean, kicks are scary, man. I give kickers credit. And that shit's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, like we were interviewing Kent's kicker a couple days ago, and he was just talking like, he's like, it's just so much pressure. He's like, you go out there and it's just you. Like you're on your own and you're like, oh yeah, if I mess up, it's me. Like there could be a bad hole, it's still my fault.
You're the scapegoat. Yeah. You miss, it's your fault. You make it, it's like, congrats, you did what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I always thought about that.
Because like QB, like when they like do the right thing, it's like, oh yeah, like great job, they're amazing. But when the kicker, like if he makes a big kick, it's like, oh, he should make that every time.
I was actually thinking about that watching one of the games. I was thinking, if it's a close game, and maybe it's not a close game, but like it becomes close. Do you think like this dude just went like 5 for 5 on extra points? Like, do you think the coaches ever like walk up to him like, hey, great job, we won because you made all your good way to be out there? Like, or like, do they say anything to him? Like, I feel bad for them, man. Yeah, I was thinking about that this weekend. Like, they get no credit.
Yeah, the Kent guy was like, they're just on their own. It's like they like have trust, and he's like he was saying Sean Lewis, Kent's coach, like really trusts them to do whatever because he's first team All-American this year. Like so he has a lot of faith in him, but he's like he expects me to do well, not like it's like, oh, good job for doing well. It's like he thinks I should be good only.
Yeah, I mean that's like if you don't have a good kicker, you're not going to be good. I mean, we missed the playoffs the last year with AB because Boswell sucked. I mean, it's plain and simple. If you don't have a kicker, you can't win games. And kicking's important. Brown saw that, even though that year with what's his face, Gonzalez, was it?
Yeah, Baker's first year. We lost 3 games on kicking.
Yeah, that Saint game, right? It was the extra point.
Oh my! It was extra points, field goals, everything. He missed 2 game winners and 1 or 2 extra points, and it was like, and even like the Ravens game this year, we were down like 17-6. He already missed, so he missed an extra point, so it's not 17.
I did see that, yeah.
And then he missed a field goal at the end of the half, and then they went and scored. It was like, you look back, it was 31-6, and you're thinking
that wasn't Gonzalez though, right?
No, that was who did we just cut? The guy from Oklahoma, whatever. He's the all-time leading NCAA kicker.
I know who it is. I know who you're talking. I don't know his name, but I know exactly who it is.
Yeah, and he missed that kick. I think that game's different if it's 17-10 going into the half instead of 24-6 or whatever it was.
It's all about points. That's the other. If we get into a field goal kicking game with you guys, we're gonna lose. We got to score touchdowns, and I don't know.
All right, last thing. Predictions. What's your score?
I've been debating this. Obviously, you know who I'm taking, but I've been debating the score-wise back and forth. And I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. I'm gonna go. You don't. I see. I don't know because I don't know about our freaking defense, man. Like I don't know what defense is going to show up. Is it going to be the defense that carried us last year? Or is it going to be last Sunday's defense? Personally, if Sunday's defense shows up, you guys are going to kill us. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that will happen. So I'm going to go with Steelers 27, Browns 17.
I could see that. I think if you guys only score 27 and win, that means we only scored about 7.
What?
Yeah, I think if we get the run game going early, which I hope we will, I say we win 41-35.
Oh, so you're thinking a shootout.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have like a decent lead, like a 24-14 lead, and just kind of ride that to the end.
I could see that. I mean, one thing I will say, I don't like that it's at Pittsburgh first. I don't. But I mean, obviously we flop. I think if you guys win this one, I think we'll definitely win the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say if we win, we're going to sweep you, but I don't know. I think we're going to split personally. I would be fine with that. I think we'll split 1-1, but I think we have to. I think this is more of like the Browns Super Bowl type feeling for Browns fans, where it's like we have to, like, for us, it's like it's a big game, and no offense, we're kind of used to big games. Like it's just another big game and I say that because it's not our Super Bowl, because if you look at our schedule, we go you guys, then we go to Tennessee, and then we have Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have, like, it's a big game that we should win, and we have to win. And I think if we go 2-1 through that stretch,
you can win the division then.
Oh yeah,
1
definitely.
and 2, it's wide open then.
And like I said, Baltimore doesn't scare me. I wouldn't be scared to go play Baltimore in a playoff game, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
No, we can't stop them. I don't want to play them.
You don't want to play?
We don't have the defense to stop.
So you would rather
right
play
now.
Mahomes?
No.
Okay, who would you play, Lamar or Mahomes, if you had to pick? I mean, I'm going
Lamar, I guess, but the Browns aren't ready for a Super Bowl run yet. I just want to make the playoffs. The bar is not high. The bar is making I've never seen in my lifetime. I have never watched a Browns playoff game.
See, I'll give you credit, because that was when Ben went down. That was my bar last year. I was like, let's just make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And
your bar every year, you're like me with Ohio State, where
100%.
It's championship or bust every year for Ohio State.
Yeah,
this year, if we don't win a championship, it was a failed season.
Don't even talk about college, man. I mean, I'm ready to. I don't even know who the hell I'm done with them. Yeah. They'll put up 40 this week and beat Miami, and then go beat Notre Dame, and I'll be talking all the trash in the world. But or they'll lose by 40. One or the other. If they lose by 40, hopefully they'll fire him. But who do you got tonight though?
Bills. I don't even know who they play.
Tennessee.
The Bills are good, but
I
think the Titans can run on them, so I think the Titans can win this one.
That's it. Wait, so who do you third? So you play the third. Who do you play? Because we have to play the Bills.
We have a joke of a schedule left. We still have the Titans, Raiders, 2 with you, and the 1 with the Ravens. Those are our only 5 hard games left. We still have both New York teams, the Texans.
So you play the Jets. So you play the Jets.
Yeah, because they were third.
Oh my God! See, we got to go to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And we play the Colts.
Yeah.
Well, we played our division. We all played them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other first. Oh, we played the Broncos. That was the second place team in that division.
Yeah.
And you play the Raiders, who was third. That makes sense.
But,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and that. All right, buddy.
This was good. Well, we'll be back probably Sunday. So one of us is gonna be really happy. The other's just gonna take their beating.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Someone's gonna be taking a beating. No matter what. The next time we talk, someone's taking a beating.
All right. Well, go Browns, guys. See ya.